welcome to My Kid Too, where you come to learn how to help your child with a disability. Today our special guest is Sadie Johns, a mother to Joshua who has autism. Sadie will share her story of how she's helped Joshua. Hello Sadie, and welcome to My Kid Too. Thank you so much for being part of this. Sadie, what were some of the things you noticed in Joshua that prompted you to have him screened?
So when Joshua was about a year and a half old, between a year to a year and a half old, I started observing him doing certain things that concerned me. One, he would take a bottle, any empty bottle, and just spin it around. I thought that was weird. He would also take a pencil and just keep spinning it around on a table. I thought that was weird. He would look into, if there was a fan that was spinning, he would look into that and just become almost fixated or tranced into what was going on. He also got into things such as shredding the Sunday paper or tissue. He would get a roll of tissue and just shred it. And at first I thought, it's a way for him to keep himself calm, but after a while I realized there was something wrong with him.
How old was Joshua when he was diagnosed?
18 months.
What was your response to his diagnosis?
Before Joshua was diagnosed, I had never heard of autism, knew nothing about it. That was the first time I ever heard the actual term autism. So I had to do a lot of research, just trying to figure out what exactly it was.
What were some of the programs, therapy, supports that you used to help Josh to grow and develop?
So when he was first diagnosed, I know that right now we're doing ABA, but when he was first diagnosed, we were doing something called floor time, which from what I remember, it's been quite a while, it would be just having the child down on the floor and them trying to engage and participate in certain things such as sensory type needs that he might be, I don't want to say lacking, but he might be needing. You yourself, Lupe, you had me try things such as putting some rice in a bowl and having Joshua try to pick up things like little pins out of that. I know that we did trampoline. I know that we did, what is that called? A ball pit. We did, Joshua seemed to gravitate towards things that were cold and he would smother things like lotion, Vaseline, shaving cream. He just used to be into things like that. And I noticed that after he was done maybe massaging things like this or smearing it over his body, he was in a better, calmer mood.
What are the progress he's had since he was diagnosed?
Oh my gosh. When Joshua was diagnosed at 18 months, I was told that he might probably never talk. He was probably gonna have to be in a home. He might never be out of diapers. I mean, it was quite jarring for me when I was told what I might have to look forward to. From then, Joshua is a 6'1", almost 6'2", strapping lad. He is talking. He did not talk until he was about, I think 5 or 6 years old. He was also not fully potty trained until he was 5. But at this point now, he's able to express himself, communicate his wants, his needs. To me, as far as I'm concerned, just like a typical kid, just a little slower.
What is the biggest challenge on taking care of him?
I don't think necessarily there are challenges taking care of him. It's more, will someone be able to take care of him if I'm not here? And trying to find that right person that I can maybe show all the things that Joshua needs to thrive.
Sadie, what is the greatest worry for your son for the future?
someone being able to take care of him the way I'm taking care of him, someone knowing what supports Joshua needs and being able to actually provide the support. I know that I have tried my best to get him in a place where if I was to, God forbid, knock on wood, if I was to close my eyes and I wake up again, I have a trust that's already been done for Joshua, and financially he should be okay. However, you have to find those people in your circle that are going to be able to, one, know what the support is that Joshua needs, and be able to provide that support.
What advice would you offer to parents who have recently had a child diagnosed with autism?
It gets better. Don't let the diagnosis stop you from treating your child the way you would treat any typical child. Appreciate the differences that you see in your child versus a typical child, and it gets better.
What would you like people to know and understand about kids with special needs?
They're just like any ordinary kid. I know that when Joshua was really young and, he did not know how to express or communicate, all he would do is and point. People stared a lot. And at the end of the day, if we could just be a little bit more empathetic and feel for, or at least appreciate what the parent and the child are going through, I think that would go a long way in helping situations where families find themselves with a special needs autistic child.
Sadie, and what are Joshua's greatest strengths?
His ability to put a smile on just about anyone's face. Joshua is a very caring, very selfless person. He is not selfish at all. He shares, and one could say that it's from the training that I and his father gave him, but I don't think so. I think just deep down inside, Joshua is just a person that is a giving person.
All right, this is one of my best questions that I have. What is your favorite part about being Joshua's mom?
Everything. His ability to put a smile on my face. No matter what's going on, Joshua's ability to put a smile on my face.
Thank you so much, Sadie, for being part of My Kid Too. This is going to help many, many families to know about that there's support out there, and there's families like your family that's gone through it, and if anyone needs any support, My Kid Too is here to be able to give them advice and take him to the next level.
That's for sure. Thank you very much for having me, Lupe.